Hey, are you thinking of moving to Wasaga Beach? Maybe the waterfront, maybe not the waterfront, but you want to learn more about all the unique features of each specific beach in Wasaga? Remember, Wasaga Beach is not just about Beach Area 1 like many people think. There's beaches 1 through 6. There's the west end shoreline facing, or like going towards Collingwood. There's Allenwood Beach. There's New Wasaga Beach. And it's not just about Beach Area 1. So stick around, because in this video, I'm gonna take you through each of the beaches, and I'm gonna go really close to shore. We're on a jet ski today, and I did that on purpose so we can get right close to shore in the areas you're allowed to, because there's buoys here, and there's some areas that are swim zone only, and you cannot go in there with a boat or a jet ski, so I won't go in there, but that's really only at Beach Area 1. Through all the other beach areas, it's a no-wake zone. I'm just gonna coast in really slow, and I'm gonna explain a little bit about each beach. If this is your first time on the channel and you wanna learn everything there is to know about living in Wasaga Beach, waterfront or not, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. That way you can be the first to know everything that's happening here in Wasaga. My name's Kevin De Silva, and I'm a local real estate agent, and I get calls all the time from people just like you that are looking to make that move here. So it doesn't matter if you're looking to do that next month, next year, or simply you just want to learn more about living in Wasaga Beach, reach out to me. All the ways you could do that are in the description box of this video, including a Zoom link where you can book a call directly on my calendar at a time that works for you. Now let's get on with the beachfront tour here in Wasaga. All right, first stop is not Beach Area 1, it is Allenwood Beach. So this is Eastdale Drive. They have an indirect waterfront access to these homes because there's a sand road that runs along Eastdale Drive. And this is a popular spot for families too. It pretty much borders, Allenwood Beach pretty much borders tiny beaches. So right up there, so you got, like I said, Eastdale Drive, and then River Road East. There's some Wasaga Beach waterfront homes that hover around the 2 to 3 mark, let's say, for a lot of the homes. 3 would be on the kind of high side. I'd say in the 2 1/4s, 2 1/2s, upper 2s would be some of those direct waterfront homes on the beach there. Some of them with like direct access, like deeded to the water's edge. That's a big controversial topic. I'm not going to get too into that right now. But this is Eastdale Drive, and the homes are on the other side of the road. So yeah, this is Allenwood Beach. Right after this is Woodland Beach, which is then you'd be in the tiny township border and the tiny township beaches. That's for another day and another tour. But yeah, this is Allenwood Beach, and we are going to work all the way to the west side of Wasaga Beach, and I'm going to get you in as close as I can safely in no-wake zone areas, and that's why I got on the jet ski today, so I can get right to shore to give you the best POV, the best point of view, closest I can, where I can. Not if I can't, like there's quite a few people on the beach today, so I don't want to go in close there, even though I could. Technically, because it's a no-wake zone, I'm not going to. But in the areas where I don't see too many people, I'm going to get right up as close to shore so you can get the best experience of some of our beach friends. This is Allenwood. On to the next one. All right, we are at New Wasaga, second stop. And right behind me, you'll see some condos and some detached homes. So the detached homes are along Coastline Drive, which does have like a sand road in between the homes and the actual beach and the dunes over there. So it's a kind of an indirect waterfront, right? But nevertheless, it's still nice waterfront. It does get busy, but not busy like Beach 1 and 2. There's only so much parking over there. These condos, the older development over there is in the mid-5s to mid-6s to mid-7s, depending on 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. And then there's a brand new development, and they're asking right now in the 8s and 9s from some of the recent ones. And then the detached homes can range anywhere around $1 million, maybe a tiny bit less, but not much, and up from there. So this is New Wasaga Beach, and it goes basically from Mary Street over to the mouth of the river. Danger zone. Do not swim near the mouth of the river. The current coming from Georgian Bay, and where it's meeting over there, it's a dangerous spot. Danger zone. Do not swim near the mouth of the river. There is signage posted, but some people don't see it, I guess. I don't know. But do not swim near the mouth of the river. I'm just going to say it a few times because it is a dangerous spot, and it's on the the west side of New Wasaga. Basically, where Beach Area 1 actually starts at the point of where the river comes out. Everybody just thinks it's Beach Area 1 is where the strip is, but it's actually the provincial park on this side too, towards New Wasaga up to where the river mouth is into the bay. So don't swim over there. Okay, swim everywhere else but there. All right, we are at the famous Beach Area 1, where most people think Wasaga is all about, but it's not, right? We're going on the big tour, but I did want to make obviously a stop at Beach Area 1. You'll see behind me, the iconic bananas and the bars and the restaurants that were there are gone. We are in redevelopment stages in this town, so there's lots of plans for that. Refer to my other Wasaga Beach development videos on my channel to get more information about that. But this is basically Beach Area 1 behind me, and then right over here would be Beach Area 2. That's 3rd Street right there, the beginning of the Provincial Park side of Beach Area 2, where a lot of people come and picnic for the day. And there's some picnic benches and barbecue areas and the boardwalk, but they could still kind of just walk over to Beach Area 1 and check out what's going on. I mean, right now it's construction, but there's still some stores open. Pedro's still open, the Sandbar is still open. There's still a few things open, so definitely still the food trucks are there. There's still some stuff there, but the landscape of that's gonna be changing over the next couple of years. Again, Beach Area 2 over there. And we're going to stop on the other end of Beach Area 2 where the homes start on the dead end street of 14th, the dead end of Shore Lane, because that's where we can talk a little bit about real estate and the benefits of living or being near there. Okay, so we just left Beach Area 1 and we are at Beach Area 2, and I want to spend a few minutes at Beach Area 2 because it's one of my favorites. I'll say why. So, and not just me, a lot of my clients and friends that live on Shore Lane, on the beachfront, or even on the Wasaga River, just on the other side of Moseley and walking over for sunsets, everybody loves Beach Area 2. So you can see behind me those crowds. That's Beach Area 1. You can see behind me over here, it's pretty quiet, but close enough to go for a walk to Beach Area 1 to see all the action and things like that. So, yeah, Beach Area 2, especially between the 14th Street Shore Lane dead end and 16th Street. Beach 2 starts right after the strip, so pretty much at 3rd Street, right when at the end of the Beach 1 strip, and then over to 16th, where the Dog Beach kind of starts over there at Beach 3. But Beach 2, it's not much comes in Beach 2 up for sale. When they do come up for sale on the beachfront, you're expected to probably pay in the $2 million plus range. Recent sales over the past couple of years have been in the mid-2s, and some of them even a little that needed some updates. So it's definitely a prime area because not just are you walking into this to Beach 1, you're also in between the parking lots of the Beach Area 2 picnic area, like the Provincial Park area that's over there. That's where everybody parks and hangs out and does their picnics. But over here, it's pretty much just beachfront owners and backlot owners that hang out here. So it's super quiet because the Beach Area 3 parking lot is way down there. So you're in between provincial parking lots and municipal parking lots, and that's kind of the prime spot. You want to be in between, so it's just less crowded, but still a close walk to Beach 1. So this is honestly some of the most prime in my opinion Shore Lane waterfront, and even non-waterfront. If you're on the other side of Shore Lane, non-waterfront, between 14th to 16th, 17th, 18th, that is seriously some of the best Shore Lane in my opinion. Some people also like Shore Lane on the far west end because there's definitely no crowds over there. I like personally being close enough but far enough from Beach 1. And when I say far enough, it's not that I don't want to be there, just sometimes you don't want to hear the noise or be part of it, but you want to walk to it and see all the action and get an ice cream and all that stuff. That's why I just wanted to spend a couple minutes here. Beach Area 2, more on the west side of Beach Area 2, and over there, like I said, that where you see all those trees, that would be the Provincial Park picnic area, and then this area over here would be where the houses are at Beach Area 2. Again, 14th Street is the complete east end of Shore Lane. There's no more Shore Lane before this, towards Beach 1. So it's very, very sought after, and definitely a spot that most people kind of wait till something comes up because it ain't often. For backlot owners, price wise, between that 14th and 18th I'm talking about, you get the little cottages as low as mid 500,000s to mid 600,000s to 700,000 kind of range, and a nice one sold not too long ago for mid 7s, and that's still on Shore Lane, just not waterfront. Just turn around here, just not waterfront side, but literally like a hop, skip, and a jump, away from the beach, literally across the street on Shore Lane, across from these waterfront homes. So it doesn't have to be $2.5–3 million to be on the waterfront or more. You could save waterfront asking price and purchase price and taxes and maintenance and be right across the street on Shore Lane or one of the numbered streets here on the north side, and just walk to the beach and enjoy it, just as much as some of the waterfront owners do. As we are approaching Beach Area 3, just wanted to point out a couple Shore Lane sales. They don't happen super often, but there was one in Beach Area 3 recently. A well-appointed home. Could use maybe a tiny bit of updating, a few things, but you're in that 1.5 to 2.2 range. That one was asking close to 2, and it sold for a little over 1.5 for the guy. That was like a 2-story with a full basement and all this stuff. So maybe like a smaller cottage would be more in the mid ones, or potentially even a little less. But that's what you can expect for cottages and homes over here. And we're making our next stop right in front of the dog beach, where I'm going to actually just hop off the jet ski and just chat with you guys for a few minutes there. Okay, so I am at the dog beach here. I just stepped off, and this is Beach Area 3, which pretty much spans from 16th to 23rd. This one's really popular because not in the entire Beach 3 is the dog beach, but there's a good section of it that is. So you can't really tell from shore, but there's these 2 fences that I'll show you where the dogs can be, on the beach. And people love this beach, obviously, if they have dogs, right? And a lot of people have dogs, especially in Wasaga Beach and everywhere. So if you want to come in the water with your dog, you'll see it's very popular to bring dogs here. You'll see some in the water behind me. So yeah, people love Dog Beach 3. It's something to keep in mind. And some homes that are neighboring the dog beach, if you have a dog and you want to come often and not get in the car or anything and walk over, there's some homes for sale like that are within walking distance of the dog beach, right? Right on the dog beach itself, it's provincial park, so the homes aren't right on the beach, but there's homes right on the other side of the park if they're just not direct waterfront, but a minute or 2 away. The other good thing about this Beach Area 3, if you just go up 22nd Street, you can visit the super popular Mr. Norm's Ice Cream and Grandma's Beach Treats. And there's always the great debate about which ice cream's better. For me, Mr. Norm's score with New York cheesecake. How can you beat that? I think what did it for me was the New York cheesecake. You can almost add it to any flavor you want: Ferrero, Shea, Oreo, raspberry, fruit, like any fruit you want. It's the New York score cheesecake that enhances the flavor so much for me. So ice cream, Mr. Norm wins hands down for me. There might be some controversy on that. If you think otherwise, leave a comment. But for butter tarts, oh man, Grandma's Beach Treats butter tarts, the bacon butter tarts, they're friggin' amazing. Any of their butter tarts, the Score butter tart, even better. It's got like a chocolate crust. It's the best butter tarts I've ever had, and I've gone to the Midland Butter Tart Festival and tried, way too many. Grandma still takes the cake on butter tarts, but for ice cream, Mr. Norm's for me. But yeah, this is Beach Area 3. Like I said, dog beach, very popular for dog lovers and dog owners to come here and enjoy the day. All right, we're at Beach Area 4. Beach Area 4 is actually the smallest, only spanning 7 blocks between 23rd and 30th. I'd say not the most popular beach, but still very attractive because it's just less people coming here like 5 and 6. But I'd say maybe almost even less people than 5 and 6 in some cases, in some days. But yeah, this is Beach 4, spanning between 23rd and 30th. And there's a couple cool streets over here on the northern side of Moseley here that are dead-end streets and lanes and stuff like that are quieter off streets than some of the other numbered streets on the north side of Moseley, like 3rd lane, 4th lane, 5th lane, and they're just dead ends in some cases, and very private, very easy to walk to the beach. Awesome if you have kids with being the dead end. There's probably the least through traffic. Not that there's much through traffic in a lot of these beaches, but I'd say this is actually just the least through traffic of all the beach areas 1 through 6. And in some cases, there's some family-friendly budget entry-level cottages, as far as entry-level goes in our current markets. I've seen some cottages in the 5s that are well appointed, and even some lower than that, even some in the 4s. But there's all price points here because they're so vastly different. But again, very private, secluded, and I would say I'd recommend this is one of the good beaches too. I mean, they're all good beaches, but family friendly and quiet and less through traffic. So that's one to keep in mind. And also the closest to like the Riverbend Plaza. So you can go over to McDonald's or something, or Tim Hortons if you want something from there, because it's just kind of, you walk up and it's just about a 6, 7, 8 minute walk from here, from the water side. So that's something to keep in mind about Beach Area 4. All right, so now we're at Beach Area 5, which starts pretty much at 30th Street over to 45th. And this one's pretty popular because it's got a playground, it's got the beach, but it's also got this like park-like setting where there's lots of picnic tables and like treed areas up from the sand, but you also obviously have the sand and the beach. And it's the first beach that a lot of people arrive to when they're coming to Wasaga for a visit. When you're coming down Sunnydale, a lot of people go on 26 from Barrie and then they turn on Sunnydale, and you pretty much, when you hit Wasaga from Sunnydale from 26, the first beach you run into is Beach Area 5, right? So a lot of people do come here. It's pretty popular. So that's something to popular beach area to keep in mind. And again, from a living perspective, when you live here, a lot of the backlot owners use Beach Area 5. You'll see how the crowds, again, you'll notice that at the other beaches that we just came from, the crowds usually start right in front of the parking lots, of course. So if you live in between provincial parking lots, that's usually where it's the quietest. Or if you have backlot owners or homes in between the provincial parking lots on any of the back streets, you'll find those beaches always quieter, right? Like I mentioned before, you usually park, bring the cooler, you set up in front of near where your car is. Not too many people venture off far away from their parking. So from a living perspective, keep that in mind if you're in between provincial parking lots. All right, so I wanted to stop here at Beach 5, the beginning of Beach 5 at 30th pretty much, just to point out these townhomes in the back. Not too many townhomes like that on the waterfront. These are at 30th. The waterfront ones can go a little over $1 million or around $1 million, and the other ones a little bit less. So that would be pretty much Midtown Wasaga, 30th Street, north side on the water. Water levels are low right now, but when water levels have been high, I have seen the water get not anywhere near the townhouse condos like inside for that kind of worry, but getting into kind of their backyard area. So they redid their break wall, I noticed, a few years back with those, I don't know if you can tell from here, but they've got some rocks there. So keep in mind, just the beach gets a little narrower around this area. So as water levels go up, which comes in cycles, like I've mentioned, you can have a little less beach some years, but not much to worry about. They got a break wall system there. And Beach Area 5, again, getting close to that west end, Beach Area 6, 45th Street, getting close to 45th Street. It pretty much ends over there, Beach Area 5. But again, you're close to all those west end amenities people love, being close to the Collingwood side. You can see the Collingwood. You can see the Collingwood terminals today. Again, a little hazy. And you can see Blue Mountain in the back. But you could see that there's more people in front of here. It's not a very busy day. It's a Friday today. Late morning, early afternoon. So this will crowd up a little bit more, but not as crowded as the beaches we just came from, right? Beach 4, 5, 6, not super crowded. So, and then you could see that it's even less crowded in between, like away from the parking lots in front of those waterfront homes. It'll be much less crowded. All right, so I know we already made a stop at Beach 5 where the playground and the washroom facilities are, but I wanted to point out this part. I'm pretty much parked right out front of where 41st Street access is, and the reason why I want to point this out is because this is a really popular spot, at least for me. I like coming here because if you walk through that access back there, there's a path to the YMCA. So on Tuesdays, if we want to boat over or jet ski over or just come hang out at the beach, sometimes we'll park here in the water, walk in, set up on the beach, and you could just walk into the farmer's market when that starts, or go to the YMCA, or go bring your dog to the dog park there. So this is a really cool spot. This is a stop off at 41st. So this is Beach Area 5, almost at Beach Area 6. Going towards Collingwood, you can see Blue Mountain. It's a bit of a hazy day. But you could see Blue Mountain over there in the back. But yeah, this is the 41st 41st Street area. Probably one of the nicest homes on Shore Lane, by the way, behind me. But yeah, this access is awesome for going to the Y, and it's quiet. It's pretty much only locals come and hang out here because it's in between provincial parking lots, so there's not really any parking and not much parking over here, so it's mostly locals and people that want to boat over and go to the Y. Anyways, really cool spot. On to the next one. All right, so we are at beach area number 6, and beach area 6 pretty much spans from 45th Street over to 70th, which is the end of the provincial park beaches. So you got to be careful because on that side, whereas the 70th side, some of those lots are private owners, so it's not provincial park anymore as you work your way west. But this is the last beach of the provincial park, like I said, and it's kind of the quietest one compared to all the other beaches, but there still is a washroom, a comfort station, and some parking over there. But a lot of locals come and hang out at beach 6. The parking is around 48th Street. So you can go there. Again, a little quieter. There's some picnic benches, but not many. There's a few. And yeah, I always notice a lot more locals on this side. A lot of the people that live on the numbered streets, especially north of Moseley, anywhere from 45 to 70th. All the north of Moseley people don't even have to cross the street at Moseley. They can just walk over, right? The people on the south side, it's still walkable. On the south side, you're like an 8-minute walk to the beach, and you have to cross the road at Moseley. And keep in mind, there's only a few crosswalk stations and lights, right? So you got to keep that in mind. Sometimes it's hard to get across the street if you're on the south side of any of those numbered streets. But yeah, on the north side, it's no more than a 4 to 5 minute walk, easy walk, to the beach, to this area, and this is beach area 6. People love it. It's on the west side, close to Collingwood, like I said, close to all the west end amenities that I mentioned, like beach, even like Beach 5 has. It kind of crosses over, being close to Superstore, LCBO, Tim Hortons, just all the stuff that the West End Plaza has at 45th Street and Moseley, that people, especially residents, really like. They like being on the west side, that 45th Street side, for this beach and for all those amenities. Definitely a top favorite. So you can really start to see now how the shoreline is it's going to switch to rock soon. Right behind me, you can see that it's been, for the most part, pure sand until now, right? And as you look behind me back there, where we're headed right now, towards the western edge, it gets rockier and rockier. So if you look in the water here, it's pretty sandy, and you're going to see it start to change. But you can even see on the shoreline itself, this is where the sand's kind of going to end as we work west. And the location of where it kind of starts changing. So we're at about 74, I believe. So around the mid 70s is where the sand kind of starts to end, and then as we work towards Collingwood and west, and that's where it'll get rocky again. Well, that's pretty much the end of Shore Lane Waterfront, but there's still a little bit more. That's basically the dead end, right? The most western side of Shore Lane Waterfront homes. It's very, very secluded over here, this end of Shore Lane. Very few people. There's really no public accesses here. It's all pretty much private. There's a few public accesses, but very, very, very few, and it's more just for backlot owners over here. There's really no parking or anything like that. So this is right at the end of Shore Lane, and homes here, again, they can vary. There's some teardown ones that have sold for around the $1 million mark, anywhere between $1 million and $1.2 million, 1.3, 1.3 million even, and then some of the really big nice ones, not that they're for sale, but they could be really, really up there if they were to come for sale in a few $1 million, probably around, I would say around $2.5 to $3.5 million, and maybe some anomalies that could even be more. And again, even though it's Shore Lane and a lot of Shore Lane is sandy, we're still pretty, we're getting into the rocky areas over here. It started a little bit ago, but it's getting rockier and rockier as we work west. You can see some of the boulders in here, some of the stones. Okay, so behind me we got Bluewater on the bay. It's right off of Beechwood, coming from Wasaga towards Collingwood, and this is a waterfront community, Bluewater, by the way. So there's a handful of waterfront homes right on the beach, right on the waterfront, and then there's in behind homes right in the waterfront community. And the waterfront homes themselves can go in the upper ones, and then in behind you're in the lower ones, and depending on size, I've even seen a few that do go below 1 million. So yeah, that's a waterfront community. There's a clubhouse, there's a few amenities. There are condo fees for these detached waterfront homes, common elements fees and stuff like that. So just something to keep in mind. And it's not, again, not a sandy beachfront like where we were. It's more rocky, and there's some vegetation along the shoreline that you got to walk through to get to the water. But nevertheless, it's still clean water. Just again, rocky, super clear and clean. You might want to just keep it, if you are doing, don't bring your boat in here. It's super shallow, especially this year. And even with the jets, you got to be careful because there's some big boulders that are literally like inches below the water. So that's why I'm just hovering around, going real slow so you can get that perspective. But that is Bluewater on the bay. So working over towards William Avenue, you can see what those homes are looking like back there. Remember, note the break walls that I talk about. Water's super shallow this year, so keep in mind this water level's usually a little higher, a little more in their people's backyards. Look at this rock sticking right out of the water where that bird is, where that seagull's just standing there. Like, that's how shallow it is here. That's why I'm doing this tour on a jet ski, so we can get up close perspective of what the waterfront is really like here. Again, you can see very rocky here, and then yeah, so just working our way over there, and I'll pretty much stop over in front of William. All right, so we are pretty much all the way at the western edge of the Wasaga Beach along the shoreline. You can't really see behind those trees. That's where the Collingwood line pretty much starts. So right behind me is William here in Wasaga, and those beachfront homes go for like in the mid ones. And then up to the above twos if they're like super nice. The water here is, it's rocky. You can see over here how rocky it is and stuff, but it's like nice and clear over here too. You can notice those break walls back there too. There's a lot of like rock break walls, unlike the river that you saw back in the other videos where there's cedar posts. The stone break walls are very popular here, and you got to make sure you stay on top of these maintenance on these because the bay gets super rough, remember? And some people have their break walls way set in because they've basically lost some of their backyard. So you got to keep on top of the break wall maintenance, keep on top of all the waterfront type of maintenance you need to do here on the beach. But yeah, this is basically as far west as you can get for waterfront in Wasaga Beach. All right, everybody, that's the end of the tour. I am back at the mouth of the river. You could see the buoys, the red and the green. That's the channel going back into the river from the bay, so we can get the jet ski out of the water. I hope you enjoyed that tour. We covered a lot. Beach areas 1 through 6, east side, west side beaches, and yeah, there's still a lot more to cover. There's so much to explain in all these videos, but I hope you found that valuable. If you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell for notifications. If you want to reach out to me, all the ways you can do that are in the description box of the video. And until then, I am looking forward to helping you make a smooth move to Wasaga Beach, waterfront or not.